What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. So we've seen the craziness that the Tau are going to be bringing to 9th edition with their weapons such as the Pulse Blast Cannon and the Railgun atop the Hammerhead. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff to their normal troop weapons such as the Pulse Rifle and how it's getting better. And now they just keep on getting better with these prototype systems. So in this newest Warhammer community article, we have 3 new systems that are pretty good for the Tau. One of them, but for the most part, they're pretty cool, they're pretty awesome. I always like prototype systems because it's almost like a glimpse into the future of the faction that you're looking into. So let's start off with none other than the Alternating Fusion Blaster. Fusion blasters are essentially melta weapons for the Tau. We've seen them being used to pop open tanks. We've seen the prototype weapon with a fusion blaster that can be used in close combat. And now we have this alternating fusion blaster. Lore-wise, this is what it is. This weapon employs a multi-state oscillating energy wave to project its fusion blast, not only into and through unfortunate targets, but also in arcing secondary streams that flow around each impacted victim and onwards to the next. The effect is a coiling column of energy capable of flowing through entire enemy formations. So basically it works similar to how Tesla does, where it kind of arcs from one enemy to the other, but it's fusion energy. So that's pretty cool. You use this on a commander or a crisis model that has one or more fusion blasters equipped. It replaces one fusion blaster and has the following profile: range 12, assault 1, strength 8, -4 AP with a d6 plus 2 damage. That's really good damage. Kind of a short range, but once you see the ability, you'll see why. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, if a hit scored is hit, draw a straight line between the closest point of the model's base or hull and that to the closest model in the target unit. You then make one wound roll against the target unit and each other unit the line passes over. So basically you're drawing a straight line from your model to your intended target, and if there's anything else in the way of that line, they also get hit. So if you have like a column of tanks and you're shooting over one tank to hit another, you can potentially do 8 damage to both tanks. So that's pretty cool. I don't see this being used too often because that range is pretty small. 12 inches isn't a lot. Like I said, you're probably just going to be hitting 2 tanks. And it's not really that good if they have like a big blob, because again, it's only one attack, so all that extra damage is only going to kill one dude. So this is really to hunt tanks. I don't really see this being used that often, but that d6 plus 2 damage is pretty cool. The next one, we have a new prototype system for the Cold Star battlesuit, which is the more maneuverable of the battlesuits, and that is the internal grenade rack. These experimental battlesuit thigh plates house deployment rails of highly explosive bomblets. As the pilot jets over the foe, the racks can be triggered and the explosives deployed. So basically what this does is once per turn, after this model has moved in your movement phase, you can select one unit that it moved across and roll a d6. On a 2-up, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. This is pretty fun, this is pretty cool, because not only is this going to be doing mortal wounds, but you do this after you move. So like let's say there's a unit you really need to kill and they're about to charge you. You could just fly over that unit, do some d3 damage of mortal wounds, and then fire at it with your weapons. And then if they're still alive, maybe you want to go in there and try to kill them in close combat. Again, it's pretty risky since it's the Tau, but that's just extra mortal wounds to dish out before you even fire your weapons. So I know it happens to me all the time where my opponent's charging at me, I've whittled him down to maybe like 1 or 2 wounds left, and it's like, well, I don't want to use all my shooting to just take out 2 wounds. Now you can take him out at the end of the movement phase if you move over him. So pretty cool. I really like this, especially that it's on the cold star, which means he can move a greater distance, meaning more enemy units are going to be available to be done on them. And you could keep doing it because it's a once per turn thing, so potentially you could do this maybe 2-3 times in a game. It's pretty cool. Next up is one of my favorite bits of like lore and I guess rules for the Tau, the stim injector. They used to be just a regular piece of war gear, and then they got moved to a stratagem, and now I guess it's a prototype system in 9th edition. Stim injectors inject the battlesuit pilot with a dose of chemical stimulants intended to temporarily accelerate their physical aptitude and pain tolerances. It's for commander and crisis models only, in a once per battle type rule. When a saving throw is failed for the bearer can then use this prototype system. If it does, until the end of the turn, each time the bearer would lose a wound, you roll a d6, and in a 4-up, that wound is not lost. So it's basically giving you a feel no pain that is pretty reliable, somewhat. It is a 50-50 chance, but like when you need it most, I feel like you'll probably get it. This used to be a thing that you could just do normally. Not so much, because it's a once per battle type thing, so you got to be pretty strategic as to when and how you need to use this. It could win you the game, especially if you're trying to take objectives or survive a certain battle round. I don't know, it depends on how much points it is, but overall it's pretty cool. And now we come to the final one, the EH Disruption Suite, aka Event Horizon. So this is pretty cool, because obviously if you guys know 40K and you know movies and whatnot, Event Horizon is a movie that originally was supposed to be about 40K. But 40K being 40K, GW was like, nah, that's RIP, don't talk about it. So the director continued to make Event Horizon into this like horror chaos movie. It's really good, watch it. And you could clearly see the inspiration from 40K. So that's pretty cool that they named this prototype system after the movie. Kind of a dick move where it's like, no, you can't use it, but we'll use yours. But hey, GW being GW. The EH Disruption Suite is abbreviated from Event Horizon Disruption Suite. This highly experimental package employs salvaged alien tech to nullify energy pulses, signal bursts, and other more esoteric energies. You use this on a Ghost Keel battlesuit only, and it's a once per battle ability. It happens in the command phase, and the bearer can use this prototype system. If it does until the start of your next command phase, it gains this following ability, the EH Disruption Aura. When an enemy unit is within 12 inches of this model, each time your opponent selects a unit for a stratagem, and each time your opponent uses a stratagem, when that unit is selected to fight or shoot, you increase the CP cost of that stratagem by 1. Note that the CP cost is only increased by 1 for that use of the stratagem, and any future usage of it costs the normal CP. I don't know. Like the whole lore behind Event Horizon and whatnot, it's pretty cool. But I think that the 12-inch aura hurts, and it just being an extra CP hurts, because I mean, I guess you could use it to make something cost 2 CP when they're low on CP or something like that, but I don't know how I feel about this. Like, at first I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, because like you could force your opponent to, second think things. Maybe using transhuman isn't worth the extra CP and whatnot, but I forgot to see that it's only a 12-inch bubble from the Ghost Keel. So I don't know. Maybe these prototype systems weren't as good as I thought, but they could do something. The Tau keep getting better in my opinion. I'm assuming GW really wants to push the Tau line in 2022, since they're getting a whole bunch of awesome weapons and whatnot. So I like it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. As always, this is the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you then. Peace.